We are right. We're in Breakfast with Champions. BWC, the #1 morning show. We're here Monday through Saturday, 5 a.m. till about 11 a.m. And right now, if you want to see my face, you can join in on the conversation and see me on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. And when you come into this space, you're going to get all the motivation. Debbie just motivated us, not only motivation, but education. And today's segment, I'm going to be talking about elevating your business. So it's going to be a lot of education. I have some special guests as well. And lastly, we're going to inspire you. I don't know about you, but listening to Amelia earlier, she inspires me so much with how simple she makes things. Being a behaviorist, knowing your behaviors, right? Just like KWP, Kim Walsh Phillips. It's not math, it's magic. And I think sometimes in business, when people are first starting out, they make it super complicated. They just do the most and they're really doing nothing at the same time. So today I am going to be talking about elevating your business. Last year, Angelina and myself did a virtual event called Elevate Your Business. It was phenomenal. It was amazing. I had some amazing guests on there, and I actually did it in December, I believe, because in November, we kind of do a little audit of our business, right? And math, not magic. Thank you, Renee. It's math, not magic. Know your numbers. I love that girl so much. Woo! In November, like right now, am I the only person who's reevaluating their business, looking at what they've done for the current year, looking what they're doing for the following year? If anyone is like that, unmic and let me hear. I would love to hear if anyone is doing that, and if so, how that's looking for them.
Well, good morning, Tina. This is Debbie, and yes, I'm reevaluating everything. So, like I love to help people with anxiety, and I love being creative, and now I've been able to kind of mesh those worlds together. So I am starting a new business, and it actually is really kind of taken off faster than I thought. So it's a little scary. But you know what? I know that I will be able to get through it and have guidance. I know that you're one of my biggest supporters, and I love that. So I appreciate you. But yeah, it's definitely scary. You have to kind of take when things come your way and they just align, you need to make sure that you follow them and just ride the wave.
I love it. I love it. Ride the wave. So as I mentioned, last year I did a summit, and I decided to ask all the people that inspired me, gave me education to build my business successfully to speak. I had people like Ramon Ray, I had Barbara Majeski, Marcus Black, one of my favorite motivational speakers. And it was a one-day event, I believe, 1 or 2 day. I don't know, but it was phenomenal. And Angelina and I decided to do it again this year. It's going to be December 15th and 16th. The 15th will be virtual, so you can definitely do that. Or if you wanted to come in person and meet us and meet and greet and speak, that's the 16th in Orlando, Florida. But today I'm talking about elevating your business. And I started a business group coaching program last week. It's 3 months long. And I have some of the people here. Debbie is actually a part of that program as well. And Debbie, you didn't tell us what you do, girlfriend. Like, I know you're that anxiety coach, but what is it that you want to achieve in this business coaching program in the next 3 months? Can we hear from you, Debbie?
Sure. What I want to do is I'm starting a business concierge service where we will focus on websites and funnels and email marketing and all those good things. And I just get to be creative, and I love it. So that's really what I'm doing. And the name of the company is DDW Enterprise.
I love it. And it's all about expanding, because we all have the talents, right? Debbie and I were in the same MomLink group last year, and our team, our chapter, tribe, whatever the heck you want to call it, we all inspired one another. I don't know about you, but I'm that type of person. Is I can see certain gifts in people, and I'm like, let's get it out, because sometimes you're afraid to let go of these things, right? Like, you may have a book inside you that you've been thinking about writing or putting out there. Maybe there's a podcast that you want to do, but you're just a little nervous and you don't know about that. So that's what's so great about hanging around people that are going to elevate and push you and excite you. Before I get into today's topic, is there anyone else that wants to share where they're sitting right now, like evaluating what they did last year, what they're doing next year? Anyone want to unmic, share their thoughts, comments? If so, unmic, say your name.
Hi, Tina.
Hey, girl. Hey, who's that?
I'm Susana Cabrera.
Hey, girl.
I'm reinventing myself, not only my business, but I discovered this passion I have. And always been a community person, and now I'm giving myself an opportunity to start a coaching program. I want to help women. I want to chase their dreams. You know, I used to sell hot dogs in the street, right? It was a very scrappy business, and I loved it, and I was happy. But it was through that business that I learned that I care about my impact. I care about what I do and the way I impact the people around me. And that was a wide opening moment when I was like, I really care for these people, and hot dogs are not something that I want to pass on to everyone. And that's when I started wanting more for myself. And it's like, I could do better, I could do better, I could do better, I could do better. And I'm at a point that I want to be there and help other women build themselves. And we're starting very, very, very little. Like I consider myself, well, I used to consider myself a working ant. And the people I want to impact.
I love it, the working ant. And it's all about collaboration, peeps, let me tell you. Today, I'm going to give you 3 things that will guarantee that you will elevate your business. Now, elevating your business, first of all, you have to define what does elevating your business mean to you. Just like someone said to me today, well, I want to get consistent. That's my goal, is to get consistent. Okay, that's not clear enough. You have to be crystal clear on your goals, because you can be consistent with going to McDonald's every day. You can be consistent with watching TV and eating bonbons on the couch every day. That's not going to make you successful. So you have to be crystal clear with your goals and your dreams. And then you surround yourself with those people. Susanna just kind of like had an idea in her head, and she realized she could not do it alone. I cannot do the things that I want alone. Your dreams and your goals should be so freaking big. You need an army to make them come true. That is why I am pushing myself to have an amazing tribe, because I want to do great things. Susanna, she saw me in a Toastmasters group speaking. She followed me on Instagram. We started chatting from there. And then she decided, I want one-on-one group. I want one-on-one coaching. I want to do the group coaching program. She did her first event a couple weeks ago. She's doing another event this weekend. And that's what can happen for you if you surround yourself with amazing people. So as I mentioned, I'm here. If you're watching me on YouTube, do me a favor, subscribe. I'm going to scroll down so I can say hello to some people. Stanley, Dominica, I see Journey, Mike, Melody. Make your way up to the stage. Did you know that everyone has a seat at the table? Stacy, Joseph, Tracy, thank you. Let's do some introductions. Kim, Nikki, Deb. Write your name in the chat and just tell us who you are. I moved upstairs to elevate my business. Yes, Chris, Devin. Are you in the building, Chris? Are you in the building to share? Araya, this happens a lot with John Lee's room. Okay, I will try using my phone instead of, okay, I don't know what's going on there. Chris, are you available to chat? Did you come up? Academic studies have shown that a focus on growth mindset had a negative outcome on results when compared with the focus on.
I would just keep scrolling. Some of that, that's all for like Tanya's segment, and then
Okay.
I had some technical issues, and we were trying to get her on the right page. So it was like it's all mumble jumbled together. Sorry.
Well, I want to hear from you, Mary Lynn, because I am so proud of you from where you were in January to now. What are your thoughts on what you've done this year and what you want for the next 3 months of next year? You want to share with us if you're able to?
I got a second real quick. I am 5, which is part of what I'm trying to desperately phase out. And so it was a great conversation between Tanya and Deb and Suzanne, talking just about how, a lot of us have to do that. We can't, it just isn't a magic wand. But after having the event in Florida, after our second season of the podcast starts with October 12th, and really we want to bring back everybody who spoke at the event, they were so amazing, to be on the podcast. Have some smaller mini-sodes, highlight people, but I really feel that I have to stay up later, okay? I don't like to stay up late. I'm a woman in menopause. I like my sleep, I like my rest, but I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to extend my bedtime and stay up at least another hour or 2 each night and get some of these things done for this because there's not enough hours in the day. I heard somebody say if the sun gets more rest than a lot of people, because, if you go to bed when it's dark and you wake up when it's still dark, that means the sun is resting more than you. Like, I am up before the sun and I go to bed after the sun. So I am trying to put more hours in But I guess, Stars, that's where my evaluation point comes in. How bad do I want to do these events and be on stage? Am I willing to sacrifice some sleep for a couple months? You know, where can I make some time? Can I take an hour lunch and just buckle down for 40 minutes? You know, so reevaluating my time management. How bad do I want it? Like, where can I make some time to do some things? I hope that makes sense.
It does, and I love this, and I hope you're able to listen to what I'm about to say, because you sound like a lot of my clients. First of all, I want you to reframe, change how you mention your job, and let's turn that into your biggest investor. Your job is your biggest investor. Doesn't it seem a little sound and feel a lot better when you say biggest investor? Doesn't that feel okay?
Yes, that's.
How does that feel when you say biggest investor instead of my job?
Well, it's true, because I mean, they invest in the roof over my head. They invest in the food,
Yep.
my groceries. They invest in the, you know, my car. So I have a car to travel, and so I should probably get back to work.
So let me finish what I was going to say to you. So you know you're not alone, Mary. You're not alone, Marilyn. You have a tribe of people. I would not suggest sleeping less, because then your energy is going to go down, your brain's not going to function as well. But I would invite you to get help, and not even help, but support. You have an amazing tribe. I look at your social media all the time, and people love you. And if you all have the same things that you want to do, you can all support one another. For example, with the podcast, you know, I forgot the person who speaks in here on Friday. I think it's Justin, how he says he has someone that does that background work. Because last night, you know, I've been doing my podcast every single week, nonstop. I love it, love it, love it. And last night I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta get it ready. I want to do this download here. So just get a tribe, you know, of supporters, or maybe some interns, and never, ever, ever say trying. I notice we say we're going to try to do this. And when you say try, you've already set yourself, my thoughts. We already set ourselves up for failure when we say trying. So either you're going to do it or you're not. And you do want it, Marilyn. You know, it's not how bad you want it. You definitely do. And I hope that has helped you a little bit to get focused and a little more moving forward.
You're right. You're right. I do need to see what happens, Stars, and then I'm going to mute. It's when and you may have heard this in your coaching before, and so maybe it will help somebody else. When I let go of some of the control, things happen like the sound, like at the event where like the balloon deflated because I didn't blow them up, but the program was good because I did the program. Like when you give up some of that control, sometimes I think that's why I've been so bent on doing it myself. But you're right. I have an amazing tribe. I have a very capable support group right here, Breakfast with Champions. I know so many people, and so I really need to tap into that more. And I will not try. I will.
Yes. And we all feel, yes, we all feel the same. And trust and believe, I know what it's like. Like, you don't want to let go. I remember we were doing our podcast, and it's just simple as doing the intro video. And I was like, Renee, you ready? And she was like, well, I don't want to mess up. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? The video starts late. There's no sound. The show must go on. And I want to invite everyone that's listening to just realize, just do it. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to be messed up. And you remember what Barbara said to you. Show those mistakes. Come on up here, Sonia. All right, we're getting started on today's topic. I see Jackie in the building. I see Jackie blinking. Go for it, Jackie.
Hi. Hi, Tina. Good morning, everyone. It's Jackie Arista here, also known as Fitness with Arista. So, Tina, I just want to tap into that because I think it really resonated with me, what you just mentioned. And I think that's the fear that most people have, right? Is like, you want it to be perfect. And I was actually talking to a family member of mine yesterday, and, you know, I mentioned that. I was like, you know what? No, my apologies. I was speaking to my students, actually, my participants, because I did have my online class yesterday for Strong Nation. And, you know, I tested the music, I tested my audio, and, you know, of course, in the beginning, you know, you would think everything would run smoothly, right? So I tested the audio before the class started. Next thing you know, I'm starting the class, I'm pumped, I'm ready to go. The audio is messing with me. It's not working. And I'm just like, okay, hold on, let me calm down, let me gather my thoughts. And I started messing with it again, and then boom, I was able to get it back and run. I did my class, it was effective, everything was great. And it just dawned to me that, I could have been teaching online for many years. I could have been doing this for a while. But old Jackie, because it's a new Jackie now. This is a new Jackie.
Yeah.
It was this new Jackie is saying, you know what? It may not be perfect. It may not be right 100%, but I am going to get it right. But I need to get it started, because if I would have done that back then, who knows where I would have been right now, right? But you know what? We're not going to focus on the past. We're going to focus on the present, because we need to be here now. So now I'm determined to just continue moving forward, doing what I have to do. Just get it done, as Tina said. Just get started. So over to you, Tina.
I'm not letting you go that quickly, girlfriend. Everyone, I want you to listen to Jackie's story briefly of where she is, like, and how she got here. And I'm talking about the Elevate Your Fitness. Talk to us about that. Were you nervous about that?
Yes. Okay. So, all right. So, you guys. So, if you see my profile, I am a fitness instructor, right? I say fitness because I don't only just teach Zumba. I also teach a Strong Nation class, which is like a HIIT workout. And most recently now, I got certified to teach a class called Circle Mobility, which is for stretching and flexibility, right? So now I have, along with Tina, wait, Tina, so I'm talking about the 90-day challenge right now?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. So let me make sure, guys. So super pumped and excited, because I am working along with Tina, in which we are going to be, we are having a 90 days challenge, Elevate Your Fitness for the holidays, right? And it's amazing. It's amazing, because I honestly feel so pumped about this, because more than ever, I feel so secure about myself, because I know, you guys, that health is the true wealth, right? I'm a huge advocate of staying active. I'm a huge advocate on living a healthier life and making that into your lifestyle. Because no matter what, you guys, if you don't have your health, guess what? You have nothing. You can't do nothing. So that's why we are doing this 90-day challenge, because we want to be able to provide people the awareness, the motivation, the tools to be able to live a healthier lifestyle. And it's starting it's starting on Monday. So we do have right now a great early bird special for those that want to sign up. But let me tell you what's included. So in this 90-day challenge, what's included is a 500 grand prize to the best transformation. That's number one. Number two, you're going to be receiving a personalized meal plan, because as you guys know, what you eat will be reflected in your body, right? So you want to make sure that we want to make sure we provide you guys with healthy, nutritional ways of doing things when it comes to like different recipes, different ways of going about like your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, for you to be able to know what to eat, right? That's second. Third, you're going to be in a weekly accountability group in which we will be able to get together and talk about any challenges, any wins, right? Because it takes a community. It takes a community to stay it takes a community to stay accountable and stay motivated, right? Fourth, you're going to be receiving 7 days of online classes that you will be able to choose from. So you're going to be able to choose from my classes, Tina classes, and there's no hashtag excuses, because it's online. And on top of that, it's 7 days. Morning and evenings. Fifth, you're going to be receiving one-on-one self or Tina, so you are able to have us personally together. And it is going to be an amazing challenge, because all of these things that we're offering you guys is going to be in a very, very nice bundle package.
I love it. Thank you, Jackie. So that, Jackie, what you just said leads to my first topic for the 3 things. So I said, we're talking about elevate your business. Someone do me a favor, type in the chat, elevate your business. If you want to elevate your business, and some of you might be saying, well, I don't have a business, Tina. Guess what? Your life is your business. If you're a mom, if you're a teacher, if you're a construction worker, you have a business. So today I'm going to give you 3 things that will help you elevate your business. And the first one is events. And raise your hand if you've ever done an event, or make some noise if you've ever done an event. And it could be something as simple as putting Thanksgiving dinner together, because it's an experience, right? So when you do events in business, it brings customer engagement. You can do it virtually. You can do it in person. In person is my favorite one. Dre was saying the other day, it's super important when you go to in-person events, you have the reason why you're there, who you want to connect with. Yes, it's cool to hang out and have fun and party. I'm going to 2 events next month. I'm speaking at an event in Florida for Dr. Dale. And then I'm going to New Jersey, New York to be with the MomLink crew, all about events, right? Anyone want to share any questions? Okay, go ahead, Debbie. I see your hand. If you got a question, Debbie, or are you just waving?
I'm just waving because you asked if anybody's planned events, and I planned.
Yay. So with events, you're going to get consistency. Customer engagement. That's what I meant to say. That's for my next one. Customer engagement. You get to actually talk to the person. Education. You get to share content, and content is the most important thing. People will want to be with you if they know they can learn something. If I'm not going to learn something from someone, then why am I even around? And the other thing that's super important about doing events is lead generation and piggybacking off of other events. BWC had an event in Dallas a couple months ago where we met some amazing people, and we got a Airbnb, and we had a virtual and in-person vision board event right after the ladies from the hotel. Ramon's having his event in April in New York. Well, Angelina and I are doing something the day after. So piggybacking off of that and getting leads. So that's the first thing, is leading events. Has anyone here have a question? Like they want to do an event, but they don't know how, or they're nervous? If so, unmic, raise your hand, come up on stage. Okay. There's either no questions.
Hey Tina, so I'll go real quickly. So I am going to be having an event in November, and I think the biggest challenge, or the biggest thing is that when you are leading an event, right? Because you're the one leading it, right? The biggest thing is holding yourself accountable, giving yourself the confidence to say, okay, I am making this decision on behalf of the team, and we're going to make it happen, right? I mean, obviously, if you're doing it with somebody else, you want to collaborate. But the one thing that I am learning, because now I am going in the direction of also doing fitness events, is that no matter what, if you are doing it in a group, and if you are leading it, at times you have to make decisions. Because if you don't make the decisions, nothing's going to happen. And that's what I'm learning when it comes to leading an event. That you know what? If nothing is being done, and if you're leading it, you best believe you better do something.
Love it. And I'm going to give you some tips, Jackie, along with everyone else, because I decided to help a group with getting leads in for their event. So first of all, as she said, the most important thing, you need one leader. Yes, you can have a partner with it, but you need that one person that's going to make the final decision. Or if you feel that you must have 2 people, have white lines. So say, for example, I don't know if this is true, but this is what I heard. Jackie and Tina are going to be doing a fitness in-person event soon. It's going to be huge. It's going to be phenomenal. So we'll have white lines. So for example, Jackie may be in charge of marketing. I may be in charge of sales. Such and such is in charge of customer service, whatever. You have to make sure everyone stays in their lane and they are accountable. So if I'm in charge of sales, that means I have to get 120 people sold. Lead generation, how many people do we need to get in the door? You have to be very specific. Another thing to give you guys the secret to having an event is just starting. Pick a date, pick a location, make a deposit. Once that's done, the event is done. December 16th. Help me out, Debbie. Where and when is the event? Because you're in charge of that part. Debbie, in Orlando. Can you unmic?
Sure. It will be in Orlando at the Avalon Park Pavilion, located in East Orlando. And I don't have the address.
Love it. From 10:30 to 2:30. So you see, I'm not going to wreck my brain with remembering all that stuff. She's in charge of that. Angelina's in charge of something else. I'm in charge of something else. So it's super important that you have a team of people that have a vested interest for themselves and for you and the overall goal of the event. If it's all about you, no one wants to do that. What am I getting out of it? That's what they want to know, right? Give them leads. Also, getting to the people. All right, let's go to number 2. Any more questions before I move on from events? Anyone have a question about how to do an event, how to start an event. If so, come up on stage, write your question in the chat. I was going to hold an event on assertiveness, but I'm not sure I'm able to do it. I will probably do it after setting up the procrastination course. I love that, Chris. I wish you could join the conversation. So an event on assertiveness. I love that. So that sounds like something that might be a group effort, Chris. And people like variety, right? You might have just a handful of people that want that information. That's why whenever I do an event, I make sure I link up with people that have qualities that I don't have. For example, this morning, I heard Marvin speak. I'm like, yeah, Marvin is amazing. So what do you think I did? I hit up Marvin. I don't know if he replied yet, but I was like, hey, Marvin, would you like to be a speaker at our events? I don't know if he replied yet because he's great with business. So Chris, make sure you connect with people that can definitely support what you're not great at. Okay, the second thing in regards to elevating your business is get a podcast. There's various type of podcasts. As Ramon would say, he claims he has like a fakey one, but actually now he has a real one. So let me bring that back. Months ago, he said he had a fakey one where he was just like posting on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. But go the extra step and get a real podcast. I know so many people, they're like, yeah, I got a podcast. And I'm like, where? And it's on Facebook and YouTube. Do the extra work, because when you see those analytics, oh, baby, it feels good. I know Mary Lynn's at work and she can't speak, but I don't know if she's able to go on there and you can see the different countries and states.
I love that. I'm listening and working, but oh my gosh, yes, when I see all the countries, even if it's 1%,
Yes.
Oh, 1%.
Guys, yes, it's this feeling I just can't describe. It's like, and now I want to hit every part of the country. I legit hit up Camille because she lives in Canada. I'm like, Camille, can you just listen to this? Because I wanted to see her dot. And I see Araya is giving us a heart because Araya was another person who inspired me. She has an amazing podcast. She's been doing it for X amount of years. I don't know if you want to unmic Araya. You know, I remember before I did it, she's like, well, you can do this and you can do that. And I was like, I don't know. And if you want to talk about your show as well, Araya, go for it.
Oh, Tina, you're amazing. You're just amazing. You're right on the money and everything you're saying. I'm just listening here. So proud of you. But yeah, podcasting, do it right. I love you saying this. So many people don't address that stuff, Tina. Do it right. Do the real thing. And now, you know, I do TV podcasting where you're on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire. We just got our logistics yesterday from Aaron, and I get 30,000 views last month. And it's so cool to see 67% of them are women. They're all around the world. But if you have a podcast, it doesn't have to cost you a fortune. And it can be very simple. Simply down to consistency is important. And then you are around the world. And so, Tina, one was a couple of months this past year, I was in the top 25 podcast in Israel. Now, I don't advertise in Israel. I don't spend any money to grab that attention from Israel. And I can have clients and television shows on my network in Israel. So it's free marketing and free advertising for you all, no matter if you can work worldwide. So why wouldn't you let your voice be worldwide? You know, hop on Captivate, let it go worldwide, Anchor, Libsyn, whichever one you like, have that podcast. But now YouTube also allows you, if it's video, if it's a TV podcast, YouTube allows you to list it as a podcast on YouTube. And did you know more people are listening to podcasts on YouTube now than Spotify? But because people listen to music as well on YouTube. So there's so much great extra free advertising when you do it, as Tina says, and you do it the right way and set it up as a podcast. Then you repurpose it on your social media. And if you're opening up the microphone, I'm going to tell you, you might as well have the camera on because you'll have so much more repurposing. And those who love to watch and learn can see you in action as well. This is my 2 cents, Tina. You're amazing.
I love it. That was more than 2 cents. I'm going to address what you said in the chat, Chris. So a couple things that she said that I really want you all to think about. She said she was able to reach out to 30,000 people because of her TV show. With the podcast, you can. Consistency, first of all, is key. When people know that they can count on you to be X amount of place, such and such time, they're going to be there. 5 a.m. every Monday, I'm in here kicking in the doors for Glenn Lundy. Also, if you're not getting a return on your investment, because Chris said, not sure there is a return, what are you putting out there? Is your content something that people actually want? And the quality. Sometimes people don't like to hear the hard truth. Maybe what you're sharing, people don't care about. They don't want to know. Maybe the quality, and I am that person. I don't say constructive criticism anymore. I say growth changing advice. And Araya did that for me. I was doing a TV show with her, and it was an exercise class. And at first I thought, you know what? I teach class Saturdays at 8:00. I'm just going to put the other computer together and do them all at the same time. So I'm teaching to my people on Zoom, hey, and recording. She's like, Tina, she called me afterwards and she BBB'd me because she knows I like to hear the truth. I don't want to hear crap. I'm not going to go that way. Tina, this is for TV. You can't be talking to other people. I was thinking, I'm going to do it the easy way. No, what are you putting out into the world? The quality. Renee Noor always says, are you showing up looking like the help, like you're going to clean up the place? Or are you looking like you own the place? How are you showing up on social media? Also, the content, like I said, the quality of it is so important. And Social Media Rocky, she says that all the time. It's about the content, the content, the content. Anyone else want to chime in on this conversation as we're going through? What platform do people recommend? Catherine, if you're talking about platforms for podcasts, I do mine on something called RSS, and it goes to the 3 platforms. Actually, you can do it on 4 of them. Spotify, Apple, what's that other one? Yes.
Hey, it's Rhonda.
Hey, Rhonda.
So I love this conversation, and I just wanted to chime in. So one of the things that was a little bit overwhelming when I first started my podcast was I started it on a Saturday. I intended to only do like 5 or 6 shows to have a fun conversation. And at the end of that 5 or 6, someone said, you can't stop this. And I'm like, what do you mean I can't? It was only going to be a few. I can't do this every Saturday for the rest of my life. And so it was a little bit overwhelming. So we went through the first season and did like 16 or 17 episodes. And then I was like, okay, I just can't do this. I don't have the time or the patience. So what I did is I had a little meeting with my business partners who are my sons. And they gave me, so they are just darling. They're like, Mom, okay, here's some things you can do. So what we did was we made it like a TV show. We turned it into seasons. It's a live stream show, so it is a lot of work and a lot of energy involved. We do 2 seasons. I do 10 to 12 episodes each season, and I do that twice a year. So in effect, I do a total of about 24 episodes. They're about an hour a piece. I get a ton of content created from it. People love it, and it gives me a break, and it gives my co-host a break. So I just wanted to say to people, think outside the box with this. The world really is your oyster when it comes to trying to do this. The Coffee with Rhonda show has been a blessing, and I too love watching all the countries, and we use Podbean for our platform and then send it to all of the other platforms.
Rhonda, tell us what Coffee with Rhonda is about. Do you guys have a special topic that you talk about? For example, my podcast is Mind, Body, and Soul Awakening, which is my niche. I talk about turning tragedies into triumphs. What's your podcast about?
My podcast is about leadership above the grind, right? So we all in that day-to-day hectic grind, we're so busy working and we lose sight of everything else. So what we do is we help leaders elevate. We help you rise above. We do that through personal and professional development. So we talk about all things at home, stress, setting boundaries, all of that. And then at the workplace, how you build a solid team, improve communication, emotional intelligence. We have a special guest on each show, and they live their expertise. And then it's almost like The View for the radio, right? Because we all sort of sit around and we contribute. It's not an interview, it's a panel discussion, high energy, and a lot of fun.
Love it. I'm going to answer your question right now, Chris, but first I'm going back to Rhonda. So first of all, I'm thinking of Jackie right now. So she said she did 5 episodes and then she was like, I want to stop. Think about your why. Why are you doing the podcast? If it's just to make money, I would not say do it. This is my personal opinion. Most of the things I do, I'm not doing just to make money. My book is coming out in a couple of weeks, October 28th, and someone says, well, how much are you profiting a book? And I'm like, because it could be in color or in black and white. And I said, you know what? It's not about how much I can make off of the book. It's that I'm able to open up doors with the book. So why are you doing the podcast? Also, do what's best for you. I love, Rhonda, how you said you sat back and you're like, okay, what's best for my life? I'm going to do 2 seasons. I'm going to do 2 to 10 to 12 seasons because you can make up whatever you want in regards to your seasons. Mary Lynn, she took some time off. For me, I decided to partner up with Pastor Jeff, and we're doing a season for men, all episodes about men. So if you're a man and you've been married more than twice, hit me up. That's a segment he wants to do. But why are you doing it? Also, Rhonda, I loved how you said, break it up. Use it as content. Work smart, not hard. So Chris, that goes right back to your question. How do you get that into revenue? I can let you know right now. So from the podcast, I actually got a client from my podcast. They heard me speaking in Bermuda, actually, and because I have family there, and they hit me up and they said, hey, what are you doing? All the events that I'm doing, I promote on there. And Coffee with Rhonda, I love that. Also, this is for Jackie. If you're thinking about doing a podcast and you feel overwhelmed, grab a friend, grab a partner, grab your husband. This can also grow your relationships. I know someone, he has a podcast, he did it with his wife, and apparently he cheated on her, and they just kept going with the podcast. They explained the whole thing. He didn't make up with it, but their views and everything went up. And what he does from your podcast, that's where you send people to your other things. For example, on your podcast, you talk about your events. That's the first thing I mentioned, right? You can make so much money doing events. I'm actually doing a coaching program with Dr. Sonia next week, 2 weeks actually, about elevating events to millions, which you can do. So Chris, one way for the podcast is from doing events. The people, oh my gosh, the people, Chris, the people that you connect with on these podcasts. I recently joined the Owl Network. The Owl app. Make some noise. Put some owls in the chat if you've ever heard of the Owl app. It's an app where now again, it's why you're doing certain things. Someone was trying to get me on this app forever. She's like, Tina, you can make so much money. You talk to people all the time. You give free advice. But for me, I didn't care about it. Money comes, money goes. I don't really think about money too much because God gives me an abundance of what I need. But I was in one of Araya's meetings. And by the way, Araya is an amazing coach. Dr. Sheila was in there. And Dr. Sheila does a show with Araya. And she's like, you know what? If you're looking for a guest for your TV show, if you're looking for a guest for your podcast, go to this Owl app. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm sick and tired of hearing about this freaking Owl app. I went on there, and it's an amazing app. By the way, click my link somewhere. I'm sure I have it somewhere. Not only can you make money on this app, but you can get great connections. I got 3 clients just from that. So you see, Chris, from the podcast, it's all about collab. All right, topic number 3. Anyone got any more input about podcasts? You want to promote your podcast? On mic, say, before you get your promote. Go ahead.
You're such great advice. You just hit everything. I had the nail on the head today too, because if you treat your podcast, TV show, TV podcast, however you do it, as a lead magnet, where you invite people onto your show that you would love to have a conversation with yourself. You'd love to see if there's potential business collaboration with, because people of influence do business with people of influence. They sell their products and services to their fans. So you instantly become not the fan anymore, not the groupie, not the one that's, oh, wow, you're so great, Stars Tina, which she is. But now you become the podcaster, Stars Tina, love to have you on my show. Now you're instantly up here. Now you can do that with the Les Browns. You can do that with the Forbes Riley. You can do that with me, other people, because now you enter into our space.
Yes.
And we think of you as a potential partner, collaborator, instead of, oh, we could sell you our program. We think of you more as a peer that we can do work together. We can make money together. And so if you utilize that and strategically invite the best people onto your show that you have to reach up for and get the butterflies in your stomach, say, oh my gosh, I'm going to reach up to this person. Instead of always having people on your show that need you, that need your show on the limelight, you're reaching up as well. You can have a nice balance of both, but don't forget to utilize it as, gosh, I could call Barbara Majeski, or I could call these people, the Tyrones, the Pastor Jeff, or, Ramon, Glenn Lundy. Glenn Lundy's been on my show. All these cool people have been on my show. It is such a way to elevate you into the Breakfast of Champions style round table. You deserve a seat at the table, and you can utilize this as your seat at the table instantly. That's just my 2 cents, and my podcast is Get Celebritized, and I love when people watch it on YouTube, because that's one of my favorite spots for people to find it under Araya McGarry. Love you guys.
Love it. All about the quality, guys. And let me tell you, you have to have a theme and a structure for your show. when I did my first episode with Araya Get Celebritized, you know, she prepped me. Well, what are you a celebrity at? What makes you a celebrity? Because we are all celebrities, in my opinion. And as she mentioned, getting the people on there. And plus it feels good to be in the room with them. You know, like she said, interviewing Barbara and Glenn, it's like you're friends for those minutes. Growth mindset. That is what we need, guys. Chris, I want to invite you to stretch your mind a little, not a little bit, a lot bit more. I'm sorry, guys. I have to really figure out how to decline these things on my computer. You really have to stretch your mind, and you have to surround yourself with people that they're bigger than you, wilder than you. So that growth mindset is very important. And lastly, Chris, I don't even know where Chris is. I got to see your face on here. Hi, Trevor. You don't know what you don't know. And Trevor has an amazing podcast. Oh my gosh, that is why I went to his event. I was in Vegas with Ramon, Trevor, Glenn Lundy for the event with Grant Cardone. And Trevor was telling us about his podcast. And he was saying, you know, he was talking about the studio. And I was like, what? Tell me more. This was before I did my podcast. I loved what he said. And I wasn't going to go to the event. Trevor, today we're talking about 3 things to elevate your business. The first thing I talked about was events, and then I talked about podcasting. And when he started sharing with me how he does his podcast, because you can do it however you want. You can do it from your cell phone. You can do it from a studio. It's like, oh my gosh, I want to see it. I want to be there. I want to feel it. So I went to this event, met some amazing humans from watching his podcast, and inspired me to do my podcast. And yeah, we're going to go to tip number 3. But before we go to tip number 3, Trevor, can you share with us your podcast and a quick tip of why it's so great to have a podcast if you're able to? If not, it's okay.
Absolutely. Good morning. So podcasting, it's like, it's like networking on steroids. I'm going to tell you that right now. Like if you want to, build relationships really, really fast, a podcast can help you to do that. And they can open doors for you, which is super cool, right? It's also different things you can do with a podcast. Like a lot of people will invite their potential clients. Okay, so someone that you would think would make a good client for you, invite them on the show, make them a superstar. You know, make them feel like $1 million. All right, and shine a little spotlight on them. And it just it enhances and expedites that relationship building process so fast because you are putting a lot of value on them. And people get clients that way. I mean, there's so many benefits. I could go on and on and on and on and on. But there's a lot of different ways to do podcasting too, like you were saying. So it's not just one way to do it.
Yes.
You can do remote, you can do in person. Definitely in person is my favorite. I love when I'm there with the guest, and it's a lot more.
Trevor, since you're the expert, I'm going to ask you a couple questions that I see in the chat. The first one's from Order. She says, do you have to pay your guests? I already know this answer. And then Chris asked a question. But if you could answer that question.
Do you have to pay your guests? I've never paid guests. I've had guests pay me.
Explain how you can make money from a podcast. Because some people think you cannot make money. Some people think it's a waste of time. Can you add to that, please?
Well, okay, so here's the deal. Once you've got some reps under your belt, what you'll notice, so what I did is I immediately put together an application, right? So it's like not everybody can just come on the podcast. So you're going to have people that you are pursuing to be on your podcast, right? Like people that you want, big names or whatever, influential people that like I would put together your top 50 wish list, the people that you would just absolutely love to have on your podcast, right? And go after those people, start sending DMs and do everything you got to do to get them on. Anyways, but then you're going to have people that reach out to you after you've been doing it for a little while, and people see it. They're going to send you a DM and say, hey, I want to be on your show. Okay. And so what I did is I started to notice that there were some commonalities in the type of people that were applying. I was like, wait a minute. I have a lot of recruiters reaching out. I have a lot of different companies. And I started to put some commonality on it. And I was like, all right, well, you know why these people are reaching out and why they were trying to come on my show? Because it's a big old commercial for them. They're marketing themselves. I'm doing all the work, and they're getting the marketing out of it. And so I'm like, okay, wait a minute. If it's a big commercial for them, they need to pay me. If I'm going to promote them and highlight them and spotlight them and put them on the map like that, they need to pay me. And, I didn't charge them an arm and a leg or anything like that. Really, I just wanted them to pay for the episode. I'm like, hey, just sponsor the episode. It cost me about $750 to do an hour at the studio, inside like a professional studio. So I'm like, why am I paying $750 to promote you? Right? Like you need to buy that episode, right? If you want it, buy it. Okay. And sure, I'll interview you and we'll put it out there. But you need to buy it, pay for the studio time. And so anyways, there are ways to do that. So I have had guests pay me to do an episode. Right?
How long have you been doing your podcast, Trevor?
6 years.
So I say that because I don't want you to get scared, Audrey. His podcast is next level. He's got a money gun where he shoots $100 bills out, and we still have a $100 bill. It's like, so when you're first starting out, don't get overwhelmed like, oh my gosh, I have to do this. I got to pay for this. So don't get overwhelmed. Thank you so much for sharing, Trevor. All right.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Yes. All right. So we're going to tip number 3. We're running out of time here. So we're talking about elevating your business. We have an event coming up December 15th and 16th. Trevor's going to be one of the speakers there. Marvin's going to be one of the speakers there, perhaps Mary Lynn, but doing events, doing podcasts. And the third tip I want to give you today is writing a book. Renee, if you could put that link at the top, please. I would love to encourage each and every one of you to, for yourself, invest in this book. Not just for you, but for your family and the tribe around you. The name of my book is called No More Traumedy. And a traumedy is when the energies of a trauma and a tragedy collide. And I decided to write this book because over the past 7.5 years, I have been pushing and fighting to get through my major traumedy in my life. We've all gone through some type of trauma, whether it's empty nest syndrome, losing a loved one, losing a job, being lost in a supermarket at 3 years old. I heard someone say that once, and I was like, wow. Because these things can leave lasting memories in our life, and they get us stuck. If you wonder why you may smoke cigarettes a lot, or why you may eat a lot of food or alcohol or whatever, there's something stuck in your body. The body holds a score, and you have to get it out. So my book, No More Traumedy, is for anyone who's gone through some type of trauma or tragedy and they want to push through. And anyone who pre-orders, it's launching October 28th, they're going to get a free course that I designed to help you share your story from the mountaintop and not from the valley. Because a lot of people do like to share their story, but it's like, it's not in a good way. So for your business, when you want to elevate your business, I'm sure we are all experts in something. And it doesn't have to really be a physical book. And if you're looking at me, I'm going to put the book up right here, if you can see. And Renee, if you can get our toolkit to show everyone. So if you're watching me, this is what the book looks right here, No More Traumedy. It's coming out October 28th. And this is going to be content for people that need to push through. And that's more than just a book, right? I told you that I'm putting together, well, I already put together. When you purchase the book, you get the free course to help you share your story. But I decided, you know what? Why not give people something tangible right away they can do? The last chapter of the book, I give you about 20 different things that you can do to get out of that trauma. And if you're looking at the screen now, Renee has them up. I have things in it like Palo Santo. I have a beautiful divinity candle that I created. That's my daughter's name, Divinity. If you ever watch me, I love wearing bracelets. So there's a bracelet in there made out of tiger's eye. There's an angel wing keychain. It's a beautiful toolkit. So for my business, that's how I'm using that book. But I didn't start with just a book, guys. I started with an ebook. You can make an ebook, use that as your lead generation. Lead generation is so important when you're getting into business. Thank you so much for showing us that, Renee. So I'm going to wrap up everything, and then I want Renee to give me her thoughts and comments on today's topic. We're talking about elevating your business. The 3 things I mentioned was doing events, podcasts, and writing a book or an ebook. I am Stars Tina. I would love for you to join us December 15th and 16th for our virtual and in-person event. Angeline and I are doing it together. And purchase the book, give it to a friend or a family member. Renee, your closing thoughts on today's topic.
because I was involved last year, I know the power of these events, this power, the Elevate Your Business event. And the thing that you always say it, your life is your business. So it is a very much a game changer for everyone, whether you have business where you're an entrepreneur or just a business of life. You always need to be growing. So if you're not elevating and growing, you become stagnant. So
I love it. And I want to thank you, Audrey, for purchasing the book, because when anyone purchases the book, I see it right away. It shows that you're definitely ready to elevate your life. And I realized that I had to push through. I had to get to the next level, and I want to grow my business. I want to support everyone that's here. With that being said, any other closing thoughts before we get out of here, guys? Pre-ordered. Yay, Audrey! I love it. I love it. I love it.
Best way to start is set a date, right? And I'll see you in Orlando.
Yay! Are you going to speak? Are you going to be one of our speakers?
I can. We'll talk, but yeah, send me the info. We'll chat because I do have work and stuff, but I will rearrange it and get it on the books.
Wonderful. December 16th, the event's from 10:30 to 2:30. I believe Jackie's going to be leading us in a little workout in the morning. And in my mind, I text you, girlfriend. In my mind, I did. Let me tell you guys, you can do all the things. Someone said to me, oh my gosh, Tina, you're doing so much. It is just Renee and I, online fitness boutique studio. I run classes and I'm building my tribe. If you're listening and you're a fitness instructor or a coach and you want to come on through, because I cannot do it alone. I want to build up your tribe and my tribe. Not only the online boutique fitness studio, I do group coaching. I told you I'm doing business coaching every Saturday, 10 a.m. It's phenomenal. People have accountability partners. It is so much fun. Marilyn will make you laugh. So Susanna's part of it. Susanna, how are you liking this homework? The homework this week was to do a live. And some people are like, how do you even get a live going? It is so cute. Susanna or Emerald, either one of you guys, or Carla, able to share your thoughts?
A life is complicated because we're participating. So it's two people in the same. And I love that. I love connection because that's the way I've been able to connect with everyone. And to me, internet has been my best friend because I'm able to make new connections that within my circle I would have not been able to do or even transform to where I want to get to.
I love it.
We did it live.
Isn't it fun doing the uncomfortable things with someone next to you? It's like, oh.
It's nerve-wracking, but then again, when you have somebody that's just kind of like, they see you lost and they're like, oh, okay, let's go this way.
I love it. And I just got an idea. That's why I love doing these things. So a part of this group coaching program that I'm doing, I want you to leave with tangible things. So for example, by the end of this 3-month course, every person will have their own ebook or / lead generation piece, which is so important. I just thought of that, Renee, throwing it together. Alrighty, crew. I'm not sure who is coming after me, but I do want to say thank you all for joining in. I was filling in for Angeline or someone else. I don't know. Elevate your business, elevate your life, elevate your fitness if you want to join the fitness challenge, which starts on Monday, or join our event in December. With that being said, I'm throwing it up in the air, but wait. I want to highlight 20 with the keys. You guys know who that is? He's the one who
Welcome to the Mind, Body, and Soul Awakening Show, where we celebrate resilience, honor triumph over tragedy, and inspire transformation, guiding you on a life-changing journey of healing and self-discovery. Now get ready to be inspired by Star Tina.
I did put the wrong one on, but you got to hear Pastor Jeff throwing it up in the air. Thank you for your time, guys. Have a wonderful day. Who am I throwing it to? Trevor? Marilyn? Who's grabbing it?
I believe we'll go